People ask me all the time, what's the best neighborhood in Venice? And every time I hear that question, I find myself giving almost the same answer. I don't know. Or it depends. That's not me trying to avoid the question. There are a lot of highly sought after neighborhoods throughout Venice that are recognized because they fit a specific convenience for the lifestyle desired, which means there isn't one best neighborhood. There's only the neighborhood that's best for you and your family. Hi, I'm Justin Bowers. I'm a Venice native, a Special Forces Army veteran, and a local real estate professional. And on this channel, I help people understand what it's really like to live in Venice, Florida, so they can make better decisions before they make the move. So today, I want to walk you through the same conversation I have with almost every buyer before we ever start looking at homes. After helping people move here for years, I've realized something, and that's people don't usually change after they move. They simply change their address. If you enjoy being around people now, you're probably going to enjoy being around people after you move. If you value peace and quiet, you're probably still going to value those exact same qualities when you get to your new place. If you love having projects around the house, owning a boat, working in your garage, then that's your jam, and that's probably not going to change either. So that's why I don't start by asking people what kind of house they want. I start by asking, what kind of life do you actually want to live? So I'm gonna take you through some of the typical questions that I ask buyers. Hopefully some of you will relate with it in your situation. If it doesn't, leave a comment below or possibly check out my Who Venice is Not For video. So here we go. Question number one, what does your Tuesday look like? So what does a normal Tuesday look like? Not a vacation Tuesday, not retirement dreams, not your ideal life. If you had all the money in the world, your actual Tuesday. Do you work from home? Do you have 3 kids and 4 different sports? Do you play golf 3 mornings a week? Are you an outdoor enthusiast? Because your everyday life tells me far more than your wish list. I've had buyers tell me they absolutely had to live as close to the beach as possible. Then after they moved here, they realized they were only going to the beach when their family came to visit. What they actually wanted was to be close to the friends they made through pickleball or the church they joined and the restaurants that they found themselves meeting up every week. The beach became something they enjoyed occasionally. Their community became a part of their everyday life. And that's why I tell people to plan around the life you're actually going to live, not just the postcard version of Florida. So, question number 2, what fills your tank? So everybody recharges differently. Some people absolutely love activity. They enjoy neighborhood events, meeting new people, walking to dinner, playing pickleball, being able to say yes when somebody asks them to grab a cup of coffee. Other people hear that and immediately they think, hard pass, no thank you. Their perfect weekend looks completely different. Maybe it's fishing, it's working in the garage, gardening, having room for the grandkids, or just sitting on the lanai where it's quiet. Neither one of these is actually right, but buying into the wrong lifestyle can make even the perfect house feel wrong. All right, so question number 3, what drives you crazy? All right, so sometimes I think this is actually the most important question because what annoys you usually tells me just as much about what excites you. Do HO rules bother you? Would traffic wear on you? Do you hate lawn work? Do you want sidewalks everywhere? Or would you rather have more privacy? Every neighborhood has its trade-offs. The goal isn't finding a neighborhood without trade-offs. It's finding one with trade-offs that you're perfectly happy living with. So before we go any further, I want to make one important point. Everything we've talked about so far is really, it's about convenience, right? It's not about your capability. Could you live in South Venice and still drive over to Welland Park for dinner? Well, of course you could. Could you live in Welland Park and spend every single weekend on Venice Island going to the beach? No doubt. Could you play golf, go to the beach, or enjoy restaurants from almost any neighborhood in Venice? In many cases, yes. There are certainly some exceptions. If having an HOA or not having an HOA is a deal breaker for you, that can narrow your options pretty quickly. But for most people, the difference isn't whether you can do something, it's how easy it is to make that activity a part of your everyday life. The easier something is, the more likely you are to actually do it. If your favorite walking trail is 5 minutes away, you'll probably use it a lot more than if it's 30 minutes away. If downtown is right around the corner, you're much more likely to grab dinner on a Tuesday night than if it's an hour-long round trip drive. Those little conveniences add up over time, and before you know it, they've shaped your routine. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons people move to Florida in the first place. They're not just looking for warmer weather, they're looking for a lifestyle that's a little simpler, a little more relaxed, and a little easier to enjoy. The neighborhood doesn't create that lifestyle for you, but listen to this. The right neighborhood can make living that lifestyle feel almost effortless. All right, so we're gonna dig into the lifestyles. So first lifestyle, freedom and flexibility. We're gonna start with one of the easiest lifestyles to identify. So these are the buyers who say, I don't need a resort pool. I don't need a clubhouse. I'd rather have room for my boat. I don't want to write a letter to the architectural review committee if I want to plant a mango tree. If that's you, you'll probably find yourself looking at neighborhoods like South Venice, Venice Gardens, Venice East, Eastgate, along with several other established non-HOA pockets throughout the Venice area. What those communities have in common isn't that they all look alike, because they don't. Some are older, some have larger lots, some are on well and septic, others have public utilities. The common thread here is freedom. You've got your garage door open, maybe you're getting your fishing gear together, you've got the boat hooked up because you're heading to the water out on a fishing trip with your grandkids. For a lot of people, that's exactly what they picture when they imagine living in Florida. Now, if you're looking for organized social events, a resort-style amenity center, or a neighborhood where everything is maintained for you, this lifestyle probably isn't going to be your best fit. All right, lifestyle number 2, community and resort living. So now let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum. Maybe you're moving here and you don't know anyone. Maybe you love having neighbors around, you enjoy walking trails, pickleball, fitness centers, restaurants, and community events. If that's the case, you're going to be aiming towards larger communities within Welland Park, Venetian Golf and River Club, Talon Preserve, or the Venetia. These communities are designed to make it easy to meet people and stay active. They're especially appealing to many retirees and remote workers who want opportunities to build a social circle quickly. They often have a full-time activities director, and you have a plethora of activities to choose from. The trade-off is that you'll generally have HOA fees, more community rules, and often higher purchase price than some of your established resale neighborhoods. You're also going to have a bit of a longer drive time to the beaches in downtown Venice. All right, so lifestyle number 3, walkability and coastal charm. If your perfect day starts with grabbing a coffee, strolling downtown, browsing local shops, and ending with a sunset on the beach, Venice Island offers a lifestyle that's difficult to replicate elsewhere in the area. You're going to be paying a little bit more for the house for sure. You're paying for location, charm, the ability to leave the car parked while you enjoy everything around you. That convenience comes at a premium. But for many people, it's worth every penny because it fits the way they truly want to live. I will say that neighborhoods just east of the island, off of Venice Avenue, within the historic district like Edgewood, going into Eastgate, down into the Pine Brook area, these are solid, more affordable options that allow you to be in the downtown Venice area just as quickly as areas actually located on the island. So those neighborhoods can overlap into lifestyle number 4, and that is convenience and established neighborhoods. So there are buyers who care less about having the newest home and more about making everyday life a little bit easier. These are the people who value being close to shopping, medical facilities, beaches, boat ramps, parks, and quick access to I-75 in case they need to get up to Sarasota or Lakewood Ranch quickly. These are neighborhoods like I just mentioned, and they also include areas like Pine Brook South, Chestnut Creek, Venice Gardens, and many of the smaller established communities along Venice Avenue and the surrounding area often fit this lifestyle very well. These neighborhoods don't always get the attention that the newest master plan communities do, but they're popular for a reason. They've got mature landscaping, established streets, and central locations can make daily life incredibly convenient. If your priority is efficiency and accessibility rather than brand new construction, do not overlook these communities. All right, and moving on to lifestyle number 5, this is your low maintenance living lifestyle. So this last lifestyle, I want to talk about, it isn't really tied to any one neighborhood at all. It's something you find throughout all of Venice. Whether you look in Welland Park, on Venice Island, or in our established neighborhoods, you will find villas and condominiums almost everywhere. That's one of the reasons this lifestyle is so popular. You don't have to sacrifice location just because you want less maintenance. So for many buyers, that's exactly the goal. They want to spend more time enjoying Florida and less time maintaining a home. Whether they're here seasonally or full-time, or they're looking for a just simpler way of life. Now, one thing I think confuses a lot of people is the word condominium. When many people hear condo, they immediately picture huge high-rise building overlooking the beach. We certainly have some of those, but that's only one type of condominium you'll find here. In Venice, condos come in just about every single style imaginable. Some are 2-story buildings, some are 3, 4 stories, some feel more like townhomes, and others look remarkably like single-family homes. The legal ownership may be a condominium, but the appearance and layout can be very different from what many people expect. So another option you'll see throughout Venice is a villa. If you're not familiar with that term, the easiest way to picture it is a fancy duplex where each owner has their own private entrance and their own living space, and in most cases, a 2-car garage. So they offer many of the conveniences of a single-family home while keeping maintenance much more manageable. For a lot of people, that's the sweet spot. They still want to feel like they're living in a home, but they don't necessarily want all the work that comes with owning a larger property. And because you'll find villas and condominiums throughout Venice, choosing this lifestyle doesn't narrow your search nearly as much as many people would assume. So it simply gives you another way to enjoy the area while spending less time maintaining your home and more time enjoying everything Venice has to offer. So if you're thinking about moving to Venice and have questions about one of the neighborhoods I mentioned or one I didn't, feel free to reach out. I've lived here for over 40 years, watched this area grow and change in so many ways, and I'd be happy to help you figure out which community best fits the lifestyle you're looking for. If you found this video helpful, I really would appreciate it if you'd subscribe. I post new videos every week about living in Venice and Southwest Florida. I appreciate you hanging in there till the end, and as always, God bless.